Hi students, welcome back to Google Classroom, Sri Gokulam Public School, Guruvayur. How are you children? Hope you all are fine over there.
In the last class, we have discussed about the main benefits and limitations of e-business. Hope you learned that portions. Today, we will start with the topic, the main differences between traditional business and e-business. The first difference is on the basis of ease of formation. In the case of traditional business, formation is very difficult. But in the case of e-business, it is very simple. And the next difference is on the basis of physical presence. In the case of traditional business, physical presence is required. But in the case of e-business, it is not required. And the next difference is on the basis of locational requirements. In the case of traditional business, locational requirements is based on the proximity to the source of raw materials. But in the case of e-business, it will be none. And the next one is on the basis of cost of setting up. In the case of traditional business, it will be high. But in the case of e-business, it will be low. And the next one is on the basis of operating cost. In the case of traditional business, it will be high. But in the case of e-business, it will be low. And the next one is on the basis of nature of contact with suppliers and customers. In the case of traditional business, it is indirect through intermediaries. But in the case of e-business, it is direct. And the next one is on the basis of nature of internal communication. In the case of traditional business, it is hierarchical. That means the communication flows from top-level management to mid-level management and mid-level management to lower-level management. But in the case of e-business, it is non-hierarchical. That means it allows direct, vertical, horizontal and diagonal communication. And the next one is response time for meeting customers. In the case of traditional business, it is long. But in the case of e-business, it is instantaneous. And the next one is on the basis of shape of the organizational structure. In the case of traditional business, it is vertical or tall. It is because of hierarchy or chain of command. While in the case of e-business, it is horizontal or flat. It is because of directness of command and communication. The next one is on the basis of business processes and length of the cycle. In the case of traditional business, it is sequential precedence succession relationship and the business cycle is longer also. While in the case of e-business, it is simultaneous different processes and the business cycle is shorter also. The next one is on the basis of opportunity for interpersonal touch. In the case of traditional business, it is much more, while in the case of e-business, it is less. And the next one is on the basis of opportunity for physical pre-sampling of the products. In the case of traditional business, it is much more, while in the case of e-business, it is less. And the next one is ease of going global. In the case of traditional business, it is less, while in the case of e-business, it is much, because the cyberspace is truly without boundaries. And the next one is on the basis of government patronage. In the case of traditional business, it is shrinking, while in the case of e-business, it is much more, because IT sector is among the topmost priorities of the government. And the next one is on the basis of nature of human capital. In the case of traditional business, semi-skilled and even unskilled manpower needed, while in the case of e-business, technically and professionally qualified personnel needed. And the next one is on the basis of transaction risk. In the case of traditional business, transaction risk is low, while in the case of e-business, transaction risk is high. So these are the main differences between traditional business and e-business. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is online transactions. What is online transactions? Online transaction means receiving information about goods, placing an order, receiving delivery and making payment through the medium of internet. So that's we can call online transactions. Then what are the main steps involved in online trading? The first one is registration. Before online shopping, one has to register with the online vendor by filling up a registration form. Registration means that you have an account with online vendor. Then in this form, you have to give a password to protect your account. Otherwise, anyone can log in your account. And the next step is placing an order. In online transactions, the order can be placed by picking and dropping the items in the shopping cart. Then what is shopping cart? Shopping cart is an online record of what you have picked up while browsing the online store. After being sure of what you want to buy, then check out from shopping cart and choose your payment option. And the last step in online trading is payment mechanism. Payment for the purchases through online shopping may be done in number of ways. The first one is cash on delivery. It means the buyer makes payment in cash when goods are delivered to him. And the next payment method is check. Here, the online seller may send his representatives to pick up check from the buyer. And the next method is net banking transfer. Here, the customer can make electronic transfer of funds, that means EFT, to the account of online vendor over the internet. And the next method is credit or debit cards. These cards are most commonly used medium of online payment. 95% of online payments are made through credit cards. These cards are also called as plastic money. And the next payment method is digital cash. This is a cash which exists only in cyberspace. The user of this cash has to deposit funds in the bank. Then the bank issues a special software that allows you to withdraw digital cash. And you can use digital cash to make payment. So these are the various ways of payment for online transactions. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is security and safety of e-business. Online buying and selling faces a lot of security and safety problems from different sources, particularly from hackers of websites. Various types of e-business risk are: the first one is transaction risk. The common transactional risk of online transactions are default on order taking or giving. Here, the seller may deny that customer ever placed the order, or the customer denies that he ever placed the order. This may be referred to as default on order taking or giving. And the next type of transaction risk is default on delivery. Sometimes goods may be delivered at a wrong address, or goods other than order may also be delivered. This may be referred to as default on delivery. And the next type of transaction risk is default on payment. Sometimes the seller does not get the payment for the goods supplied, whereas the customer claims that the payment was made. This may be referred to as default on payment. To overcome these problems, the seller must confirm that the customer has entered the correct information from the cookies. What are cookies? Cookies are just like caller ID in telephone, which provide information like customer's name, address, previous purchase record, etc. Customers can also protect himself by shopping from well-established websites only. Some advertisers also assure customers regarding seller's identity, sale record, locations, etc. Sites such as eBay even provide the rating of the seller. And the next type of risk is data storage and transmission risk. Here, the vital information can be stolen or modified to pursue some selfish motive or just for fun. The common storage risks are: the first one is virus. Virus stands for Vital Information Resource under SIES. Some of the computer viruses are deadly. They clean up all the information stored in the computer memory. The viruses can enter the computer through email or disk or floppies. And the next type of risk is hacking. Hacking refers to unauthorized entry into a website. Hackers often destroy the data and information, which causes huge losses to the owner because it would interrupt the business transactions. And the next type of risk is transmission risk. Here, the data may be intercepted in the course of transmission. For this, one may use cryptography. Then what is cryptography? Cryptography refers to the art of protecting information by transforming it into an unreadable format called ciphertext. Only those who possess a secret key can decipher the message into plain text. This is similar to using code words with someone so that others do not understand your conversation. And the last type of risk is risk of threat to intellectual property and privacy. Here, the data furnished in the course of online transactions may be supplied to others who may start dumping a host of advertising and promotional. That means junk materials formed as a result of dumping advertisement materials can be a great problem. So these are the various types of e-business risk.
So students, I hope all of you understood the concept clearly. And please note that the related URLs, notes of the lesson and test paper are also attached along with the class. Make use of these available materials. Study well and attend the test paper without fail. That's all for today. Thank you.